The days turned into shadows within the depths of the mine. Time ceased to exist. There was no way to know if it was day or night outside. Inside the earth, there was only silence and breathing. The rescue team that came days after Evelyn's disappearance never stood a chance. The first responder, Officer Jacobs, led the charge, but his flashlight flickered violently as soon as they stepped into the mine. One by one, the crew members dropped their gear, muttering incoherently, staring at the walls, swearing they could see faces in the stone. Jacobs kept pushing forward, deeper into the collapsed section where Evelyn's last signal had been traced. All they found was her camera, melted and fused to the rock, as if it had become part of the mine itself. Back in town, strange things began to happen. Residents of Dagger's Hollow started to report nightmares, deep, suffocating dreams of being buried alive, of eyes watching them from drains and mirrors. The local preacher, Father Grayson, held emergency mass every night, urging the townsfolk to stay inside after sundown. "The veil is thinning," he warned. "The darkness we buried is seeping up." But nobody listened. Children spoke of a woman with cracked skin and coal for eyes standing at their windows at night. Animals disappeared. Trees wilted in patches, their trunks twisted and bleeding dark sap. The mayor, desperate and skeptical, ordered the mine to be sealed again permanently. Welders arrived to reinforce the old chains, but none of them returned. Their truck was found in the morning, doors wide open, engine still running, the interior filled with soot and bloodied handprints reaching from the inside of the windows. Soon, the town's power grid began failing, one district at a time. The night grew darker, thicker, more unnatural. The stars above Dagger's Hollow dimmed, and even the moon seemed afraid to shine. Then came the voices, a chorus of miners, long dead, singing an old work song in the dead of night. But it wasn't a melody, it was a summoning. The town's librarian, Margaret Crowley, unearthed a book hidden behind a false wall in the archives. Bound in stitched leather, it contained the written history of the mine's original owners, the Blackstone Company. According to the text, the mine was never meant to be used. It was a barrier constructed atop a living gate, a chasm to the underworld that predated even the native tribes of the region. The miners hadn't merely drilled into the rock. They had drilled into something alive, something eternal. Evelyn's footage returned to the surface somehow. A child found a small box buried in the soil near the old church, wrapped in Evelyn's jacket. Inside was a flash drive. Authorities reviewed it. The footage was uncut, raw, and terrifying. The final 30 minutes showed Evelyn standing in front of the altar of the darkness, speaking in multiple voices, none of them hers. Her body twisted and her limbs cracked in unnatural angles, yet she smiled calmly. Behind her, dozens of shadowy figures moved along the walls, some half-formed, some limping, others crawling upside down. At one point, Evelyn turns to the camera and whispers, "The earth does not belong to you. It never did." Then the screen cuts to static, followed by a chilling image, the town of Dagger's Hollow, but buried beneath layers of black ash, like it had been consumed by volcanic fire. The government arrived the next day. They quarantined the town. Families were taken away. Those who resisted vanished. Black vans roamed the streets and men in hazmat suits with no badges began pumping an unknown gas into the mine. They said it was just a precaution, but one of the workers leaked audio from their communication system. "We're not sealing it," a voice said. "We're trying to contain the heart, but it's growing. It's feeding on fear now, on memory." The audio ended with screams. Now only a handful remain in Dagger's Hollow, those too stubborn or too poor to leave. One of them is Thomas Ridge, a 78-year-old ex-miner who had once worked in Mine 12 and swore he had seen the black eyes in the coal. He stays in his crumbling cabin, armed with salt lines, candles, and the old journal of Elias Finch. Every night he marks his walls with chalk and mutters prayers in tongues long dead. "It ain't over," he says. "The darkness below ain't just beneath us now. It's inside us, and it remembers who woke it." Some nights, he swears he hears Evelyn singing outside his window. Cut to black. Text appears on screen. The following footage was found near the ruins of Dagger's Hollow. The town was officially declared abandoned in October 2025. Entry is prohibited under federal law. Final scene. A group of urban explorers, led by a YouTuber named Brad Ghost Hunter X, enters the forest laughing, joking about the legends. Night falls, their lights flicker, the tunnel is still open. As the camera fades, the last thing visible is the entrance of Mind 12 slowly breathing in and out, like lungs made of earth. A whisper echoes, "Feed me."